That is Queen Bee.
Hey everybody, it's Busy Little Bee. Welcome back to my channel. So I had no plans to talk anymore about Kalari, but she's out here spreading medical misinformation, so I have a problem with this. I have used other resources. There is someone who I've been talking to who is a psych major, and they brought it to my attention that this form that Kalari is using that she claims is her diagnostic paperwork, she doesn't even really claim that. She just kind of puts it up and talks about what she claims are her results. This is a study that was done in some scholarly journal. You can see at the bottom it says, it's got coefficients and it tells you kind of how to read the scales and stuff. I know nothing about psychology, psychiatry, any of that. Like, I'm not a professional. However, I knew that this was fucking weird, and the way it was cropped was weird, and the way it looked was weird, and I found out that's because this is not diagnostic paperwork. This isn't even got anything to do with Kalari as a human at all. She picked this up and said that this was used to diagnose her as a sociopath, which again is not a diagnosis that one gets. So antisocial personality disorder is something you can get diagnosed with. Do I think that Kalari herself has antisocial personality disorder? No, I don't personally, but I don't know her that well, so I can't say that. However, I do know that the bullshit she's playing here is dumb. Number one, she's very bothered by Hekate's daughter doing a stream on her. Hekate's daughter streams once a week, and she has fun with it, and I think she does great. She's also very bothered that she says people use this 4-year-old's trauma as a gotcha. Nobody was talking about that until the parents of that 4-year-old. Well, I'm sorry. Yaba and Sam were the only ones that talked about that. And they kept trying to get other creators to talk about it so they could see, look what they're doing. They're using a child's trauma. That didn't happen until they were accused of it. And then they said, no, ma'am, you are the only one who has put that child's name out there. None of us have. None of us think this is any kind of gotcha, nor would we bring it up. It's not okay. That's not our story to tell. It's none of our business. However, when you are going out and calling other people pedos, maybe if, I don't know, you said that people should put the respect on the name of someone you knew was one, but we didn't know. Maybe that makes you look like a fucking hypocrite. So that's my beginning, but let's go ahead and hear Kalari trying to talk us into how this is definitely about her, and she is definitely a diagnosed sociopath. And I didn't watch her before. I know there was a lot of talk about her claiming to have a Tesla. I never saw any of that. So if you guys have any clips, go ahead and send them to me over on Twitter. We can dispel that real quick if that's the case. Again, that's not something I ever heard about. I didn't watch her until the socks thing. Because I just wasn't interested. But that was that was some cow behavior. And now we got more cow behavior. So let's go ahead. And this is more Amber Lane coded, I think, than Foodie coded. But this is medical misinformation, and saying this shit is just so incredibly wrong. So let's go ahead and listen to Kalari's bullshit.
As you know, this weekend was pretty eye-opening. There was a big old hit piece done on me that I still maintain. I was not in girl world for most of this. I will break down the Carl Sanctuary thing one more time for the dummies in the back so that I can get this done. Because there were a lot of lies that ran around, and I am going to thank Alex Glitter and that tragic guy that they call the bodega for showing me how insane these people are. Like 8 hours? You've spent 8 hours on me, Hekate. Why? I don't know you. When I tried to give you a chance and you came upside my head because I did not want to just diss on FFG, who I will get to in this as well, because I'm not going to waste time on this, y'all. This is a coordinated attack, both by people who I knew had no life and are salivating at a gotcha because, oh, she's just too nice to people on YouTube. She can't be like that. And then a person who I respected who really blindsided me with how they truly felt about me instead of coming correct and just saying how you felt about me. So I'm going to unpack all of that. And then after this, I'm going to leave this shit alone. But honestly speaking, this all stems from the fact that I enjoy both the YouTube Underground Yaba and Sam Tefler's chats.
That's not even close to the truth. The problem is you're not seeing your own role in this. This is the fourth time you've said, I won't be addressing this anymore.
Because these motherfuckers out here saying that I have a Tesla? When anybody knows the reason why I locked my Twitter down 2 years ago and wasn't going to post on it again before I was asked to use it for campaigning purposes, that I can't stand Elon Musk. The whole reason I got into even talking about the heifer was because of that stream that I sat in on your channel before anybody even knew I had a channel, and she said that your mother's passing was your karma. That activated fight mode. So if you want me to give you credit for my channel, that's fine, because it was your archives that kept me away from Chantel. It was your group that made me laugh each evening and on weekends sometimes. My channel is always going to be about the things I'm interested in. I'm not interested in back and forth beefs with anybody, because all of this shit stems from who I like and who I kick it with on YouTube.
Wrong, 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 wrong.
Hecate, since you love me saying your name and since I know I'll probably get another fucking 10 or 8 hour stream out of this shit, wanted to try to give me advice about saying stuff first. Let's get it right. I called out their actions. These people used a 4-year-old's story that shouldn't have been put on the internet in the first place as a gotcha to try to take down channels, because that's all they have. You have the called Animal Home and Sanctuary. The last donation was 2 years ago. I need to remind you, I wasn't in Girl World till 11 months ago. When Greg's grandfather bought this place, he had big plans and he did big things out of his own pocket and he got over his head. When his parents tried to take over once he started getting sick, they realized they couldn't handle it anymore. So the horse that was here got put on another person's place. I don't know. I wasn't there for it. The cats and other things, they were rehomed. I don't know where. Wasn't my business. The only thing I'm guilty of is using my platform to try to help them out. You tried to say I took advantage of an old man that I didn't even know, that wouldn't even know me in the state he was in by the time I got up here? Okay, believe that. I can't convince people who were already waiting for something bad to believe about me that I didn't do that. But I'm telling you, the people that are pushing it the most, they probably have those kind of skeletons in their closet while I'm an open book.
No, see, there's where you're wrong. Most of us would never take advantage of the elderly. Most of us would never use animals to grift from other people. Most of us would never do that shit, which is why you got called out to begin with. Not because of who the fuck you watch. No one cares.
I know I've never put on there that I was a good person. Ever. And that's a little victory for the Grift Gang now. You have taken something that I enjoy during the evenings most times. I don't have animosity towards you. I am not going to turn my channel into Let's Attack Frenchie. I don't care on that level. I would just like to think that somebody who is accused of hating this stuff herself, who knows it's not true, who doesn't really have to use the support of her channel to know that's not true, would give me the same courtesy, but you know, it is what it is. What you see here is a list, and it's probably the checklist that my psychiatrist used to fully diagnose a lot of my issues.
What the fuck are you doing?
And once I say this so that you can understand whether you want to continue to pass judgment on me, I'm going to let it alone because I know what I was told. I have schizoaffective disorder, which was upgraded from the schizophrenia that I was diagnosed with in 2003 when I was in Florida. Those were bad times for me. I'm not even going to shy away from it. Those were bad times for me. But when you're honest with a psychiatrist, they do use these checklists. And believe me, I was fucking scared when she told me I checked a lot of the boxes on the sociopath tendencies because I didn't know what it meant. But when you get that diagnosis and you work towards it, yes, you can openly talk about it without shame, because there is no shame in having mental illness. A lot of creative people have mental illness. That is just the way it is. My mind does not work on the same level as different people. That's just the way I am. But my psychiatrist had this checklist. So I'm going to go over this checklist and why I can clearly say I was diagnosed with sociopathy.
You were not diagnosed with sociopathy. You may have been diagnosed as having antisocial personality disorder. You haven't said that. You said you have schizoaffective disorder. Maybe that's messing with your brain. I don't know how schizoaffective disorder works, and I'm not going to pretend to. I just know that the shit that you're saying makes zero sense, and no psychologist, psychiatrist, any mental health professional would ever use one checklist of what seems to be about criminal behavior and sociopathy and personality disorders and all of that. But this has nothing to do with you. There is nothing about Kalari on this paper. Why the fuck are you using it? Why do you think that this is ever going to work on anybody above an 8th grade reading level? Why? Because seriously, this is so fucked up. She goes on to explain how she has all these things and why she rated how she rated. This was not about her. This was not her scales. None of that. This is medical misinformation. And this should be taken off of YouTube, period. Like, do your bonnet shit. Do whatever, but stop lying. Stop. That's all I got, you guys. I'm not even gonna keep on the rest of her fucking bullshit. Talk about how she's a diagnosed sociopath, because we all know that's bullshit. But I wanted to get this out so that we could have a sane voice speaking on the subject, I guess. I don't know. I felt the need to talk about this because this is fucking crazy. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and I'll see you guys soon with the new Breezy video.
I don't give a fuck about any of you. And I'm just honest enough to say it. Pathological lying. I scored low. She told me I scored low on that because I was raised differently.
You're a lie.
I did not lie to anybody in Girl World. I'm not gonna lie to anybody in Girl World, and I'm